Woo!
take the credit and run with it. Let's do.
Yeah, sure. That was all me. That was all me.
No, we got it. All right, well, everybody, Emily's going to be facilitating the meeting, and I will be trying to slow my pace of dialogue down, but this should be about 25, 30, 45 minutes. We are here to answer every question you have. We're super excited that you chose to join us this morning, but let's just jump right into it. This young gentleman on the screen, Emily, you can see my screen?
I can see your screen.
Great. Well, there's our founder and an originator, John Sr. He created John Halls, Alaska back in 1983. John is originally from Foley, Minnesota. He's a Midwesterner for life. He grew up in the hospitality industry. His family had ownership of the Anderson House for over 70 years. John Sr. took over the management from his grandmother back in 1976, and it took him about 3 or 4 years to figure out he needed to get those folks from southeast Minnesota up to Alaska, and that's when he created John Halls, Alaska. What a lot of people in the industry, really nationwide, worldwide, don't understand is this gentleman is responsible for creating the model that we see in most of Alaska. John was the first person to bring small group travel to Alaska. And really what sets us apart is with these small groups, we can take you to the real Alaska. We can get you into the backcountry lodges of Denali. We can fly out to the remote villages and small lodges in McCarthy and Nikolai and up to Utqiagvik. So with the small group sizes, John's passion, his vision, his commitment to sharing the true Alaska. And that really is the key there. His goal is to share the true Alaska with everyone. And he's been doing that. Unfortunately, we lost John this last year, but his desire, his passion, his commitment still carries on. I have been presenting for the halls for about 7 years, but I can tell you these are my words, not his, that our goal is to provide a unique and immersive Alaskan experience that incorporates Alaska's rich history and indigenous culture. We want our travelers to see the real Alaska, but we also want you to understand why we're visiting this area, how long this area has been inhabited by the indigenous people. We want you to not just drive down the road and check the box. We want you to get a little dirt on your shoes, not a lot, but enough to understand why we are visiting the different places we are. This is just a shot out west. This is about 150 miles southwest of Anchorage. I got some stories I'll tell you later about our national parks tour. We're family owned and operated. John Sr. started the company in 1983. In 2003, when the kids were out of college and decided they didn't want real jobs, they wanted to work for their father and continue his legacy. John Jr. ran our company for about 10 years from 2003 to 2013. Elizabeth has been running it ever since. And Joe, like everyone else in the company, we wear whatever hat it takes to get the job done. We're family owned and operated. The gals in our office answering the phones, taking care of you as you make your steps closer to a reality. They are in Minnesota, but our actions, our operations are taking place out of Anchorage, Alaska. Elizabeth's been living up here for about 8 years now. If she's not in Anchorage, she's not in Minnesota, she's not in California, she's not in Washington, D.C., she's on a plane somewhere, and she sleeps about 3 hours a day. So she's awesome. We are family owned and operated, Midwestern based hospitality, and you're going to hear it over and over again. You'll also see it in our brochure. You're going to end up being part of our family. And we are going to make it's a genuine concern. We want you to enjoy Alaska, but after day 2 or 3, we know if you like decaf coffee or chocolate mints or a little whatever, and we're going to make you part of our family. But we're small business, we're family owned and operated. When you travel with us, it's an all-inclusive package. The only thing that is not included when you travel with us is your airfare to and from your home and your travel insurance. And I'm going to pause here for just a minute because you should have a chat option down below. If you have any questions, please type them in that chat section. Emily's going to be monitoring that, and she will interrupt me with the good ones. Otherwise, when we get to the end of the presentation, we're going to open it up for question and answer. So if you do have a question at any time, type it in that chat button, or I'll open up microphones, or Emily will here at the end. But please don't wait until I'm done to ask your questions.
Yeah, I think everyone has the option to mute or unmute themselves now as well.
Awesome. Awesome. If you do one thing and do it better than anyone else, you become known for it. And that's really John Hall's motto. And that's what he's been living by since 1983. We are the best tour company in Alaska. We have the small tour or the small group sizes. We have the all-inclusive. We're not a budget company. So when you travel with us, every single meal is included. All your gratuities are included. The quality of travel you're going to experience is far above and beyond anyone else. We're not pretentious, we're just knowledgeable. We have the best team in the business, hand selected by the Hall family. We've got awesome tour managers. We've got our PR department. We've got the gals answering the phones. I think at the height of the season, there's about 37 of us, but we all share the passion of sharing Alaska with our visitors if it's their first time or their 10th time. And we really, really set ourselves apart by having that much knowledge, that much experience. But really, it's the passion that we carry. None of us are counting down days until the end of the season. We all love our jobs, and we just wish Alaska was 12 months long, or summer was 12 months long, not 9 months long. But we do have the best team in the industry. Patrick and Bo and Jeremy and Steve and John, and we just have a great team, and we're all dedicated. What makes us different? Small group sizes. Our average tour group is 20 to 24 to 40 people. And I'm going to get into tours next week, but today I want to tell you who we are and what we do. Our national parks tour that we're going to be offering 3 times in 2027, that's limited to 26 people. The maximum you ever see is 40, and we rarely get to 40. We stay in the middle 30s. We are leading in customer service, a genuine concern. We're going to meet you at the airport. We're tracking your flights. Our team in the office is more than happy to arrange those flights from your home up here to Anchorage and back. So let us take a little bit of that work out of your way. We will arrange your flights. Attentions to details. They're small to you, but big to us. You know, what's your food allergies? Do you want to be on the first floor? Do you need to be near the elevator? King beds, queen beds, whatever. We're going to pay attention to every detail. If you haven't traveled with us in the past, this is our 44th summer of assisting guests and travelers north to Alaska. So this is not our first rodeo. It's not our 10th or 20th or 30th or 40th. It's our 44th year in operations, and we continue to strive to the highest level of service, and we just love doing that. Forget your wallet. Everything's included. So when you have breakfast at the Captain Cook, dinner at the Captain Cook, you're sitting at the Grand Denali Lodge at the park entrance having dinner, all your gratuities are included. So you don't need to be digging in your wallet for 20 bucks every time you're having a meal. All those prices are included when you travel with us. Less crowds, smaller towns, small groups. If you're ready for it, we're going to get you into small airplanes. We're going to get you into small boats. Is it safe? Absolutely. We do our homework. We only fly with the best in the business. But if you want to see Alaska, you got to get in some small airplanes from time to time. We have great partnerships throughout the state. Some of these partnerships are going on their 35th or 44th year. It's not the first time we've partnered up with this group or this vendor. We've been in business. These are lifelong friends, great partners we have around the state. When we pull into some of these hotels, some of these restaurants, we go into Trailbreaker Kennels. It's like coming home. It's not like we're just another tour bus pulling into the driveway. It's, we're high-fiving and hugging. We haven't seen them in 3 weeks or since last year, but we have a fantastic relationship with all our partners. We have the nicest motor coaches in America. And I used to say we had the nicest motor coaches in Alaska. I went to the American Bus Association meeting in Nebraska a couple of years ago. Nothing comes close to our motor coaches, and I'm going to show you more about that as well. There's some unique experiences we can add on as you go into Denali or Talkeetna or different areas. We can put a little cherry on top, and the team in Minnesota will walk you through that. We've got the best industry professionals. All your gratuities are included. I'm just going through the list. Meet and greet you at the airport. So if you're flying in and you get in at 11 o'clock at night, we'll be there. If you're leaving at 6 in the morning, we're going to get you back to the airport. There's no taxis. There's no Ubers. You're going to see one of our representatives greet you at the bottom of the escalators in Anchorage. And Anchorage is not a big airport. It's a busy airport, but it's not a big airport. But we're going to take care of you from the time you put your first foot on the ground in Alaska until you get back home. Any good questions in the chat yet there, Emily?
Not yet.
Okay, I'm going to keep going. What we value: customer service, quality, and integrity. You know, our reputation's on the line, and we are doing everything to maintain the highest level of service, and we expect that from ourselves and our partners, and that's really the difference. And I'm going to keep coming back to it, but the small group sizes, those group sizes between 24 and 40 people, allow us to see the real Alaska. We are going to slow down and enjoy the trips. Most of your days, not every days, we're getting out the door by 8 o'clock in the morning. Some days it's a little earlier, some days a little later. We'll get into that later. By 5 o'clock in the evening, we're already parked at our hotel. So we're not going to wear you out for 14 hours every day. A couple days we will, but not every day. Empathy, ethics, and etiquette. Sorry, we're going to treat you like we're going to treat you with professionalism. We're going to, like I said, meet you at the airport, get you back. We're going to get to know everybody. You're going to become part of our family. So we really do take pride in making you part of our extended family. And we get travelers from really all over the world. A lot of Florida, a lot of Midwest, New York, New Jersey, Texas, everywhere. So we really do encompass the entire state. And I will tell you, the other great thing, and I get excited about it, is we only offer 15 tours every summer. We've got 3 different options. We'll get into those later. We're only assisting about 550 guests every summer. We're not in the numbers game. We're in the quality game. So every person counts. Everyone is our most important treasure, and we can't wait for you to get up here. We've got the nicest motor coaches in the entire state. Like I said earlier, these are 45-foot long MCI motor coaches. We've got them down there in Lake City, Minnesota. So if you're driving south or north on 61, pop in. There's usually one sitting in front of the lodge right there. Ask one of the gals if you can go in and peek inside. These 45-foot long motorhomes are custom designed on the inside, and we have 20 inches of leg room between every seat. Full service bathroom. We got a little galley in the back there for hot coffee and hot teas. We always have bottled water. You're welcome to bring your own beverages on board. When you travel with us and you board your motor coach and you meet your tour manager, you will be with that same tour manager on that same motor coach for the entire duration of the trip. So go ahead and leave your walking stick on there, leave your cameras on there, leave your jackets or whatever. We don't have you clear out and get on a different motor coach every day. This will be your home as we drive throughout Alaska. The entire paved highway system in Alaska, interstate highway system, if you will, that's kind of funny for an Alaskan to say, is only about 1,100 miles. So we will use the motor coach, we'll use small planes, we'll use trains. Every single one of our tours, we're going to take a rail for 4 to 5 hours into or out of Denali Park. But these motor coaches, I want to get back to it, they're super comfortable. They're kneeling coaches. The front of that motor coach is going to kneel down within 4 inches of the ground. There's air conditioning on there. There's heaters on there if we need them in the fall. There is no Wi-Fi on our motor coaches. If you want to look at your phone instead of out the window, you're on the wrong motor coach. So we do have Wi-Fi at the hotels every night, but I cannot tell you or emphasize how magnificent these motor coaches are. They are truly, truly the top best motor coaches in the country. They recline 5 inches. There's foot rests in front of every seat. There's 120 power outlets, 2 outlets in front of every single seat. And I want to slow down myself here. There's 46 seats for passengers on the motor coach. When you get a group of 24, 26, 28 people, half of that motor coach is empty. Do we want to travel with half empty motor coaches? Again, we're not in the business of filling every seat. We're in the business of providing the best quality experience for our guests. So in all reality, everyone can have a window seat. So it's pretty awesome. Great way to travel. Plenty of room for luggage underneath. We'll talk more about luggage and what you need to bring up in upcoming seminars, webinars coming up in the next couple weeks. Where do we stay? We stay at the best service hotels throughout the state. These are hand selected by Elizabeth, Joe, and John Jr. We stay at the Captain Cook in Anchorage, the Kennecott Glacier Lodge out in Wrangell St. Elias, the Denali Backcountry Lodge in Kantishna. We're so excited to get back into Kantishna next year. We stay at the Bear Lodge up in Fairbanks. We stay at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. We're down there at Harbor 360. We stay at the hotels that offer the best service. We stay at the hotels that have the same philosophy that we have. Take care of our guests. Culinary styles and dining experiences. If you have a food allergy, let us know. The biggest complaint we have on our tours is that we feed our guests too much. So you will not lose any weight on your next trip to Alaska. Come enjoy some salmon, some halibut, some rockfish, some oysters, some scallops, some prime rib. All your meals are included. All your drinks are included. So you're going to eat well on this trip. We don't go to any chain restaurants. We don't go and sit in line behind anyone to eat dinner. When we come in to have lunch or dinner, most of the time they're expecting us. You just travel with your lanyard around your neck that takes care of you. You're going to eat very, very well on your next trip to Alaska. We again want to immerse you in the culture and the lifestyle of the indigenous people throughout Alaska. So much history, so much great heritage and pride. And we really want you to understand the native people, their history, and how important it is to what makes Alaska, Alaska. It's fantastic. You all know Alaska is 1/5 the size of the lower 48. And as I mentioned earlier, there's only 1,100 miles of road. If we split in half, Texas would be the 3rd largest. So you cannot drive to 90% of the state. We don't have dirt roads like they do in Montana and Colorado and Wyoming where you can go 50 or 60 miles down a country road. We don't have that. So I'll get to the maps later in upcoming seminars, but we really make a huge point to introduce and explain the cultures and lifestyles of the different indigenous people of Alaska. It's very, very awesome. And I'm going to give you some book recommendations here in a little bit. What makes us different is not that we travel that same 1,100 miles that everyone else does. It's that we use small airplanes and small boats to show you more of Alaska than anyone else. None of our competitors have the ability to show you as much of Alaska as we do. Depending on which itinerary you choose, that's going to determine how much of Alaska you're going to see. We just finished up our last national parks tour. It's a 2-week-long tour that visits 6 of the 8 national parks. That group size is limited to 26, and those folks came up for 2 weeks. They took 11 different airplane rides. They got on the rail. They got out on boats. They covered over 3,350 miles of Alaska. So what makes us different is we want to show you the true Alaska. We want to get you out there and experience those native cultures. We're going all the way back into Kantishna next year. Our national parks tour gets you all the way up to Utqiagvik and everything else. Any questions in the chat yet, Em?
Nope, still no questions.
Good. I'm going to keep going. We do have our worldwide adventures. So not only do we excel and create the greatest experiences in Alaska, we've taken that passion, that attention to detail, and we've started enjoying worldwide adventures. We have Hawaiian Islands, America Samoa, Costa Rica, Japan, Scandinavia, Portugal, Italy. We've done Scotland and Ireland in the past. We do New Zealand and Australia every couple years. It's pretty awesome once you've traveled with us. And you don't have to travel with us before you go on a worldwide adventure. But the same thing, we visit these remote locations. These are in our website, these are in our brochure, and we can give you more information anytime. But we do offer worldwide adventures throughout the year, not only in Alaska, but throughout the entire globe. Visit us at kissalaska.com if you haven't already. I'm going to hit the road here the last week of October. I'll be down in the Midwest for about 3 weeks. I'll be down in Florida. Our upcoming in-person seminars will be available shortly on our website. The team is finalizing my hotels, but I will be down in the lower 48 from October 25th until the last week of February. I'll be back up here for Iditarod, but I will be coming hopefully to a neighborhood near you. If I'm not in your neighborhood, we're going to continue doing Mondays with Matt, Emily, myself, Elizabeth. We're going to have a schedule out there for you to look at. I know next week we're doing the Grand Slam, but if you can't get to one of our in-person presentations, we will be doing online webinars. Last year, we started a photo contest with different categories, and Thomas Densler won with he won a free trip to Alaska when he was up here on his Grand Slam trip. So more information there. We have early booking discounts. If you secure your 2027 tour before December 31st of this year, we will give you a $500 per person discount. And to hold your tour, it's just a $500 deposit. So $500 deposit towards any of our 2027 tours that we receive before December 31st will get you $500 per person off for your 2027 tour. Just below that, save $800 per person if you include our small boat tour. And I'll get into that in the next couple weeks. But reach out to us if you have more questions. I want to keep it short and sweet. I really want to answer all your questions. If you can't wait to see me when I come down in October, November, December, if you go on to our homepage, scroll down to upcoming or virtual seminars, there's the picture right there. Click on that little red button or that little red arrow. They recorded me 2 years ago when I was in Minnesota, and there's a 2-hour presentation on everything John Halls Alaska was doing in 2025, so 24. So go ahead and click on that if you need a little more information. If you'd like to get some more info, get you ready for your next trip to Alaska, you can always reach out to us at our 800 number. The girls there in Central Time Zone in Minnesota, 800-325-2270. Reach out to any one of our team members. They're down there to answer your questions. It's not a quick and fast and easy process. It's a process that takes a little time, but we want to walk you through it and make you as comfortable as possible. Next week, we're going to do the Grand Slam, but right now, we're going to answer some questions, and Emily's going to help me facilitate that.
Yeah, excuse me. If anyone, excuse me, frog in my throat. If anyone listening has any questions, you can either unmute yourself and ask them live, or you can put them in the Q&A or the chat function here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I couldn't get the chat to work, but I do have a question.
Okay.
Do you work with travel agents and pay commission?
Matt, do you?
That's a great, we do actually work with travel agents. And what we like to do with travel agents, and again, you'll need to reach out with Elizabeth, but we love working with travel agents. So get yourself, get your guests, get your clients up to Alaska. And yet to answer your question, yes. So if you can, at your convenience, call that 800 number, and that's going to go to Minnesota, and just ask for Jenny, and she can get you some more details on that.
Okay, thank you.
The other great thing that I get excited about, Emily, because my passion for Alaska never dies, is we are able to also create customized itineraries for travel agents. If they get larger groups of, 18, 20, 22 people, we can modify one of our existing tours and make it fit your budget and what your clients want to do. Great question. Thank you. Other questions we have out there?
See, the chat function may not be working if you do not have a Microsoft Teams account, but I'm wondering if the Q&A will work. I just put a little intro in there. Feel free to ask any questions if you want to from the Q&A or the chat. We'll leave it open for a few more seconds here.